Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm talking pinball and different types of pinball. This one is Black Knight 2000, my favorite pinball table of all time. Done a video about it already. I'm doing all of these on the Pinball Arcade because it's kind of the easiest way for me to show them off and to discuss in detail. Now, Black Knight 2000 is a Williams table, and from the title of this video you can tell I actually want to talk about Gottlieb pinball tables. So I'm going to compare and contrast. Williams tables are awesome. They have a great deal of personality and real verve to them.
I am the Black Knight.
For example, with this one, you got a great bit of music, you got that great voice there telling you you're about to start up against the Black Knight. I really enjoy Williams, and I think I had always assumed a pinball machine is a pinball machine is a pinball machine. But not so. Williams tables actually have a different element to them, something that is a lot of fun, and I find ironically I don't feel the same way about Gottlieb tables.
Stand up and fight.
Yeah, I love this game. This has got to be the greatest pinball machine of all time. But it's not the only one. I'm going to show a few more here of like Williams style, just so you get the idea of why I think these ones are also awesome and how Gottlieb isn't. Now, I hope I'm not going to annoy the Gottlieb fans out there. I'm not trying to like throw you guys under the bus or say, hey, your stuff is junk. That's not the case. But there's a real, almost tangible difference in how Williams tables look and how very similar Gottlieb machines are. And maybe it's a timing thing. Whoever's big into the two different companies, can you tell me, did the Gottlieb stuff come out first? I think that is the older of the two companies. But did Williams sort of start taking away all their success, so Gottlieb tried to do some catching up? If so, it kind of shows.
It's a dud. Fire in the hole. It's a dud. Yeehaw!
Another inspiration for this video is the fact that last weekend was the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Came back for the first time in about 3 years. I didn't go. Maybe next year, we'll see. But seeing all the footage of people showing all the games and the pinball machines especially made me think, oh yeah, I should talk pinball again. In addition to Portland Retro Gaming Expo, I've also done the Seattle Northwest Pinball Show many years in a row. So I've had kind of that experience. Anybody who hasn't done either show, just as a side note, I wanted to point out they're almost opposite from each other. Portland Retro Gaming Expo has a big dealer room where you can buy old Game Boy and Atari games or whatever, and then there's also arcade games and pinball machines like Sorcerer here in the background or in a little subsection. Whereas the Northwest Pinball Show is take the same concept but reverse them. So now you got mostly pinball machines, mostly arcade games, and occasionally a little table of like Game Boy or Sega Genesis or whatever sitting around the edges there.
I am Count Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
And since we're talking events and time of the year and all that kind of stuff, Halloween is coming, so of course I'm going to throw on Monster Bash by Williams. Again, another game that really, back to the pinball topic, a table that shows off personality and lights and sparkle, and it's kind of, Monster Bash is a combination of the classic Hollywood monsters, but combined with a rock and roll group for some reason, so they've got like Dracula on the guitar playing like rocking out with a certain theme. Weird stuff, and I really love it. I love how Williams tables have all of this spark and excitement, and their tables just come alive in a way that I'm afraid I gotta say I find that Gottlieb tables don't. Okay, last Williams example here. This is a Williams table. This is No Good Gophers. And the basic premise is you got a couple of gophers running around causing havoc on a golf range. Very similar to a Gottlieb table called Teed Off. Now, I don't have Teed Off for the pinball arcade. It did come out. I never got it because I didn't end up liking it. I actually had it on the GameCube Williams collection, or sorry, Gottlieb collection that came out years ago. Played quite a bit of Teed Off, and I have to admit the name of the table was very apt. It did tee me off. I wasn't too thrilled with it, so I didn't ever get it for the pinball arcade. But when I got No Good Gophers, I was like, you know what, let's get that in comparison. And wow, what a difference. This game is bright and sparkly and fun and full of animation and life. It does have slightly annoying characters in the Gophers, but you know what, I'll run with it. This one, I think, best exemplifies how I feel that, like, Williams tables are awesome, but Gottlieb tables kind of suck. Kind of suck as in into a black hole. See what I did there? Yeah, this is a Gottlieb table. This is Black Hole. This is one of the games that, one of the tables that comes out in pretty much all the different collections. And it's really good, but are you able to see what I'm talking about? How this one, it seems a little more, I don't know if it's the theme. I don't think it is the theme. I think it's just the way Gottlieb makes their tables. This one's kind of slower and a little more the repetitive nature of that little beep 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 thing. It's not like the game isn't fun to play, but it's sort of it really, I can't even really put my finger on it. This exemplifies one of the problems that I have with Gottlieb tables. They're kind of slower and chunkier and just not as enjoyable to play. Am I alone? Take a look at this. Okay, wow, sunken table. That's certainly not the first machine to have ever done that, but it's not really doing it for me. I don't know. And this is just one table.
Howdy, partner.
Here's Pistol Poker, a pretty a game with a lot of personality to it, sort of the Wild West theme and all that. But this one, there's something in like the voice. It's not very clear. It feels a little muffled. The background music also feels like it's being played through like a pillow. And there's a lot of tables like this. I played quite a few of the Gottlieb tables, and they're all sort of, this is a good representation of them. This, I don't know, a little more junky and chunky type of gameplay. I can't describe it very well. This one does have a neat little back glass thing where you want to select your next card to be dealt to you. So, yeah, that's cool. I like the back glass functionality, but it just feels like it takes a while. It's a little bit weighty for the ball to get around and do anything interesting on the table. Am I wrong here?
Ready, aim, fire. bushwhacker.
Here's another one, Wipeout. It has a skiing theme. You're moving the ball like a little skier going up and down these hills and valleys. Got a little ski lift, little ramps, all kinds of fun stuff. This one's a little more Williams-like. I was being one of the last tables I ever bought for the Pinball Arcade. And I thought at first when I saw trailers or people playing it, I thought, oh, this looks a little more Williams-like. This is more fun-looking. It's got some nice shaking toy effects going on and stuff. But I don't know. I don't feel it. And I've actually heard quite a few people when this table came, a lot of people were saying, oh, really? Wipeout? That's the best you can do? And I was like, ooh, okay. I guess this is also not necessarily beloved. And the less said about stern tables like this Harley-Davidson one, the better. I have played them. They don't feel anything like even Williams or Gottlieb. They're in like a league of their own. Good luck to them for still being around, unlike the other two companies, but no, not even getting into stern. Forget it. But before people get on me for throwing a lot of hate at Gottlieb, I will end off with a couple of my favorite Gottlieb tables. I love the heck out of these. This is one of them, Genie. Fantastic. This was one, when I got that GameCube Gottlieb collection, I played the heck out of this thing, and I really developed quite a love for this table. It's so good. It does suffer that slow, crunchy kind of thing that I was saying that a lot of Gottlieb machines suffer from, but it maybe because it's a wide body and it has just so much going on for real estate on the table or something. I don't know. Maybe I give it more of a free pass, but I love Genie. I think this game is fantastic. It feels a slower pace. Now maybe that's a thing. Maybe because these are older tables and they hadn't quite figured out where the goalposts are, almost literally, for what people want in a pinball machine back in the... When did this come out? The 50s? Something like that? Maybe that's why this one, because it feels slower and a little more relaxed and a little more magical. I don't know a good way to describe it, but this table, I love it. This is a great table. If you ever get a chance to see any pinball machines and you're bypassing Gottlieb based on what I've just been saying, no. Some of the older ones like Genie here, absolutely beautiful, and I love it. But this one, Big Shot, this has got to be one of my favorite pinball machines of all time. I love the heck out of this thing. This one, again, came on that GameCube collection, and I ended up playing the living heck out of it. I love it, love it, love it. I don't know what it is about Big Shot. I think there's something in the sound effects. It reminded me when I went to Playland back in the 70s, and I've done a video about Playland, and it's long dead or on life support arcade. I think, if not this table, something with the same bells on it was playing. And when I played this one on the GameCube disc, there was something magical in these sounds and this gameplay that made me remember those early 70s days in Playland, reminiscing about, like, you know, what old coin-operated machines were. And I absolutely will give full credit to Big Shot for being stellar. A beautiful game. Absolutely love it. And anytime I go to any events like the Northwest Pinball Show or the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I see those electromechanical beauties like this one sort of sitting a little neglected, most of the kids are just walking right past this old stuff. I mean, yeah, they'll play Terminator or Top Gun or any of the, you know, more modern types of or titles that they recognize and have got all the more modern trappings like DMD displays and that kind of stuff, or multi-ball. Whenever I go to an event and I see all the kids walking past these old electromechanicals, I think, oh, no, you guys. You gotta give these suckers a try, especially something like Big Shot. Side note for any pinball experts, isn't Big Shot like some weirdly hard to find, not actually a released table, or it was like a sequel or a hack of something? I remember Googling this one years ago, and the information on Big Shot is a little obscure. Like, I could be wrong. Who knows? Please sound off if you know a lot about pinball machines, and you're probably angry as heck that I'm giving Gottlieb all this stink eye. Tell me about Big Shot. Why is it like not as easy to find as other machines? Anyway, I'm going to end off there. Overall, I do not like Gottlieb tables in general as much as I like Williams tables. And I'd like to think this video gives you some kind of an indication as to why. But do know, I do love them, especially Big Shot. And until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.